Hey y'all, good morning. Happy Friday. Let me take this off. My dang hood. Happy Friday to you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend ahead. The title for this video today is the glass ceiling, right? And I want to talk about this because this is very real in like in our minds, right, as Black people. And I think that it kind of humbled me. I've been humbled a little bit in the sense that um, I know that I will not go very far with this company. And it's unfortunate because part of my excitement with the company was that I would essentially grow, move up, and create a kind of space for myself to kind of help build my career, right? Um, I will say this, something I appreciate having friends that understand me and really understand where I'm coming from, because I'm always able, it feels as though I'm always able to process, right? Things just in a manner that I know that I'm not just being like, over the top, or just to ensure that my thought processes, when as it pertains to certain situations, is correct. Um, so it definitely helps. But I do believe that my intuition is spot on, right? And in the as it relates to my position, where I could and cannot go. And then really it's imperative that I understand this and that my tuition allows me to know these things and or feel these things, right? Because white people ain't necessarily going to tell us these things. It's not something that I'm going to actually know or somebody's going to admit to, like, yeah, I'm trying to hinder your progress. Like, people don't admit to shit like that. And the way in which Black people know is because we could be the hardest working person in the company and still never really move up, right? And I understand the older folks who, again, they're about to retire, stuff like that. Um, but for me, again, I keep saying, and it goes back to, like, I'm young, right? And I feel as though if I don't have the opportunity to move up in a company, I feel like companies, what they'll do is they string you along, right? Especially Black people. They string us along. We work our ass off, right? But they never want to give us the credit for what we do, right? And what that credit needs to start looking like is money, right? Meaning that I had someone told me they appreciated me yesterday at work, right? And I was just like, whatever. Like, I don't see it translate into dollars, so I don't really feel appreciated, right? The words "I appreciate you" do nothing for me when the actions are not backed up by money, right? So, granted, I know that none of them guys would have been able to do what I just did for this company. And I guarantee you, it's never going to translate as it should to dollar signs, right? Um, Again, I do not fault my boss for putting his people in power. Like, I'm assuming that's why you start a business. And that's the whole premises behind that, is I want to uplift my people. But at the same time, it's the same man that's trying to tell me to not think that I'm a Black woman, but think that I'm a woman. And that shit ain't going to work with me when the world sees me as Black, when you're still paying me Black woman salary, right? Let's keep it a buck. Like, I don't even see how that man thinks that race is not a play in this, you know? Or as a woman, I wouldn't think that it's imperative for me to keep, upgrading my skill set so that I can move up as a Black woman. That's important. So when I have a man that don't even know my situation talking about, oh, well, how about just a woman? The fuck? The world doesn't see me as just a woman. They see me as Black first, then maybe a woman, you know? So I'm at a point where I accept the fact that I'm staring at a glass ceiling. This is why when it came to my position, and I'm asking, where does my position go? Because that overall drives my happiness, right? It's not the talk, it's not all this, right? It's showing and proving what you're saying. And my boss was like, "Oh, that doesn't make you happy." I've never seen that kind of position where you're overseeing people like me. If I can handle 600 clients, why would you break them down to 300 each for three girls and be paying three women to do what I can do? And I'm already showing you I can do it. Why would I don't really see the logic in his thought processes on that. And I think that if I stayed with the company, if I did ever receive the role that I feel like I should have, that's going to come when we've got a crap ton of clients. You know what I mean? That would come as different business offices are opening around the country. Then I could see a need to fulfill, put me in some sort of position, right? Because you have too many people at that time. You need more hands on deck, right? So I get that. But I don't know that I'm willing to be around for that much longer. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm open to work. But it's a reminder that no matter how good I do, no matter how skilled I am, no matter how much I learn, I'm only going to be able to go so far. And my friend said this, and it's very interesting because now I'm really considering it, is that if I don't get out of Colorado, I'm never going to really grow. Because everywhere you go, you're dealing with a level of prejudice. You're dealing with whites who they don't really identify with black people like that. They intentionally segregate themselves away from the blacks here. You go into a restaurant, you see no black people unless it's that one black man that's sleeping with the white girl. Outside of that, you don't really see black women in white spaces out here. You don't see black men unless they're the black man, the one oddball, the raisin in the rice bowl kind of deal, right? But you don't see white people going out of their way to really hang with blacks out here. When you look at certain parts of our history in Colorado, certain areas blacks were pushed out of, and they still have been pushed out of, still to this day. So I have to recognize that maybe Colorado just ain't it. And I think I've been saying it, and a part of me, I'm comfortable, right? That's what we were talking about, is that my identity cannot, I can't get so comfortable that I forget my dreams and the things that I want to go for and the things I want to go after. Um so I'm really at a space now, like I said, where it's time for me to really, I don't know, like I got to make a change, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But I'm also keeping my eyes open for a new opportunity. If the way in which I grow and get these promotions is going to be similar to what I've done before, in my opinion, um, if it's going to be similar, then I might as well just job hop. Stay at one job for 1 year, get my experience, go to the next job. Obviously, the next job is offering something better. Like, I'm realizing that even in this space, I may have to go back to what I've done previously, right? It just is what it is. Because if I'm not going to get a raise by my own work merit, um, I'm a job hop so that I can get that raise, and then eventually take all that money that I'm getting from that promotion to invest in my business even more, right? So that by the time, like I say, I'm 40, I'm not working for nobody but myself. So that's the realization that I'm at. I know now that I'm gonna have to really get a little bit more colder in my approach and how I deal with people at the office, meaning we're not friends. This ain't a friendly thing. I'm here to work, get paid, and go home. I'm not going to be going above and beyond anymore. I really feel like I don't have to, just because of the way I set the system up. But I'm not doing that anymore. I know they had an event for like networking and stuff like that yesterday. I've denied I will not be attending anything that they're inviting me to. It's just that simple. I'm not like, I'm at a point where I've completely checked out of the company. And if I end up still here throughout tax season, dang, these cops are out. What today? Friday? If I don't see a raise, like I say, I may just take a demotion. I may just go work somewhere else temporarily until I can find better. That's just where I'm at with things, because there's no reason for me to be. Okay, the finances ain't mathing. It just ain't mathing. So I know I feel like this once, but y'all know I don't stay stuck for very long. Meaning that a person can decide that they're going to hold me back. That's not what's going to hold me back. You see what I'm saying? Like, God finds a way. I've noticed when I really deserve a promotion, I've always been saved by something, meaning a job. It ain't really been that people promoted me, right? They always talked about it, right? They never actually promoted me, though. I've been here, done this before. But as soon as I got that new job, you can bet your bottom dollar that new job was paying a hell of a lot more. That's how I've gotten to where financially I'm at now. But I ain't trying to be in this spot for very long. I shouldn't have to be. So that's where I'm at, y'all. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm over the caring portion of things. I know that I need to keep my head down. I'm staying to myself. I don't want to talk about your families or anything white people be talking about. I ain't got no small talk for these motherfuckers. I'm there to do my work, and when it's time for me to leave, I'm out. It's that simple. I don't want to hang out. I don't need you to do shit for my birthday. Like, that's really where I'm at. You want to go get steaks? Nope, I can buy my own steak. Like, I'm really at this point now because I'm fed the fuck up. So I have made a commitment that I would attend as many networking events as I can. That's how y'all know it's time for me to move around. I just got to do it wisely. I got to move smart. And I'm not angry about the situation anymore. I just know that being a Black woman, I think sometimes we forget that we are Black. And this is unfortunately the experience that most Black people have in the workforce, which is why you see such a decline of Black people in the workforce, right? This is why so many Black women have said, fuck working for white people. I'm going to start my own business. And there's a lot of Black women who are actually very successful in their businesses. See? So it's a reminder that I can only go so far, right? I had a client of his tell me when I last tax season, that I could only go so far with this company. This isn't the company that I was going to be able to make my name with. That's what I was told. And the more I talk to men, right, because my friends are males, which is crazy. But the more I talk to them about the circumstance and how I feel, they're telling me this is how men think. This is what men are really thinking. Even though he said this is what he's really thinking. And all of that shit women feel. I want to be honest. When we're dealing with men, we may not know what you really mean by what you say, right? But we can feel that shit. So yesterday, my frustration was my intuition telling me this is not the spot you're going to be at. And it's a level of disappointment too, because I have so much faith that this company will grow. But I'm like, if you're not advancing me, if I'm not growing with the company, then what the fuck am I doing there? You know what I mean? And it's hard because I'm having to be, okay, well, you've got to understand patience, right? So understanding that maybe it's not my time. Maybe he does want to put me in position, but maybe it's not my time. But then the question becomes, again, when is it your time? So that's the thoughts that constantly run through my head is, when are you? And then I see all of these women who have left, right? Now it's become more of a man group, right? Part of my personality test clearly states I don't like when people earn promotions based upon their friendships, right? So you guys already know I'm not, I guess, listen, this is how this company's about to be done because he ain't gonna fire me. He don't want to play the unemployment. So that ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? As much as I would be like, just fire me. You know, I get unemployment and I gotta be fired without doing something crazy too, right? So fire me. But that means he's gotta pay me even though I don't show up. That would be the ideal for me and where I'm at right now. I don't get fired, but this is a situation where if you fire me today, I would file unemployment tomorrow and I would be just as happy. Because now I got the freedom to make money the way I know I can make it. You see what I'm saying? And you still got to cut me a check at the end of the day. These cars are speeding. I'm not finna speed. I can, but I'm not. And this Jeep thinking, oh, I'm going to be on her ass so that she goes. The Jeep, I will out Jeep you, motherfucker. I'm so sick of y'all. Get the fuck out of here, man. Actually, but that Jeep is ready to speed. That's what it is. I'm slowing all the way down. But I'm not gonna take it. I know that Jeep is like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. But I just been reminded that I'm still a black girl. You know what I mean? And that's cool. You know, Kanye West said it best. Even though what did he say? And all falls down. He said, even if you a nigga in a binge, you're still a nigga in a coop. And he's talking about how white people view black people. Yeah, he's speeding. See, these cops is all out. I ain't trying to get pulled over. Y'all can speed. Maybe you should be on time for work so you don't have to speed, idiots. It's like all these people speeding to get to work on time. Uh, Anywho, that's where I'm at. You know, I realize I appreciate men because men love to talk a lot of game, right? And sometimes for women, we get so wrapped up in words that we don't really understand uh, that we being played, right? And so yesterday I told you guys about my boss and the promotion that he said that you know what my position can grow into, right? And I'm not buying it. It just, to me, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. Like the way I'm setting this system up right now is you could literally bring somebody in and only pay them what? Minimum wage. That's really how I've set it up because what I've told them is if I leave, and this is me caring, right? This is me bringing my corporate expertise to this stuff because they didn't have no corporate expertise. That's why I had to do all the work, right? But if I leave tomorrow because I came in the middle of a shit show, like I had to kind of figure it out. If I leave tomorrow and you replace me with somebody else, are they going to be able to do the work? That's the question. That's how you know when your company is organized or not. Meaning that all you would have to do is train them on systems. Everything is set up. All they need to go and do is click a few buttons here and there, assign a few returns. That's not worth what I am getting paid. I'm being honest. So again, I'm not, and I don't think, again, because, and that's something my friend was telling me too, and he's been my friend. He's seen me go from being homeless to where I'm at now, right? So I'm telling him what's going on. And he said, it seems like they underestimate you. Y'all, I keep saying this. Underestimation, it sucks when you're being underestimated, right? However, I know my life, and any time that I've been underestimated, God has propelled me much higher than that underestimation. So where this company is saying, nah, you don't, because I don't think he really understands how much I really understand about business. I understand. I see it. I don't know how to explain it. This is what I've been doing my whole life. Like, if you talk to people who know me, know me from my past, they'll tell you, you've always been a hustler. You've always been a go-getter. So a business, this ain't my first rodeo. And because of the opportunities that I've had, which I'm grateful for, I've been able to, like I said, I've had experience with setting up processes, setting up businesses, right? Ensuring that we got CRM systems, what those CRM systems should look like, stuff like that. I've had a lot of that. Operations. But the girl who never comes into the office is operations. How? Sway? Because if they gave me the keys, that shit, like low key, the stuff we're still trying to figure out would already been figured out. And at this time, my team knows that. Like, that's the coldest part about it, is they're like, damn, we really wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for Sierra. This is what they say. And I was like, I'm surprised, because I didn't think men would give me my credit where it's due, but they are. So I know that what I'm feeling is genuine. I'm not going to keep trying to push it back, acting like maybe this is me, maybe I'm being impatient. This is what I feel. I feel like I've been underestimated by a long shot. I feel like I'm constantly having to prove myself, and nothing is worth that. Like nothing I do is worth what I feel like I'm worth, right? And I'm realizing that it don't matter who runs the company. If I'm dealing with people outside of my race, that's how they're always going to see me. That's how they're always going to view me, right? And my friend was like, well, you're just a face. And I was like, that's crazy, because he's been telling me I'm the face. He doesn't say you're just the face, but he says I'm the face, which means that I'm replaceable in his mind. Even though he's like, if I had to get rid of people, which he says all the time, it's going to be like all these other people. And I will be real. He's let people go as because of me, right? So I would think that my position is very important, to be honest, because I'm the bridge between the client and the business itself. But if I'm important, you pay people who are important. You compensate them. You properly do it. I'm just saying. So I don't really understand when I'm having to ask how important my position really is. It tells you it might not be that much important, or at least it don't feel like it's an important role. And that's a problem, because my motivation, it comes from knowing that I can move up. It comes from knowing that I can grow. Nothing else. So I'm glad I talked to my friends. And again, males help too. When you've got honest male friends, they really help in the sense that they don't mind telling you. What a male is thinking or what he really means. Because men talking like code, kind of. They say things, and a lot of men, and what I was told too, which I thought was very interesting, is my friend says, Cece, it don't matter. It don't matter what level that man is on, right? Basically, men are the same at every level. It's just how they do it a little different. See, because my mentor, and now it makes sense why my boss, low-key, was trying to get me away from my old roommate so bad, and throwing things out there like, oh, well, y'all must be dating, right? Y'all must be together. And I'm thinking normally only black men be like that. I don't really date white men in that, who say shit like that. But black men think like that. If I was dating a black man, he might think that I was sleeping with my old roommate. That's actually very common for black men. But a lot of times when black men say shit like that, it's a means of manipulation, especially when you're not sleeping with the person, right? And I knew that I felt a bit strange when he said it, because I was like, wait, what? Like, why would he even go into that? Like, you're my boss. Why would you even go into that level of kind of conversation? Why would he even go there, right? And not that I was offended. I'm reading him. So I'm like, why would he even decide that that was something to say, right? And so immediately he was like, well, you can't help him. You got to help yourself. And telling me, he was one of the first people telling me to cut my old roommate off, right? And keep in mind, my old roommate is fully aware of this, and they're men. So as men, they understand that, I've got more things to be focused on than a man that's, got a disability. Like, I'm not in that space of my life yet. I'm still young, and that would only hinder me if I had to take care of a man with a disability, right? So I get the thought processes there. However, I also feel like my old roommate was putting me on game, yo. I mean, real game in terms of why I'm still with the company, right? What it is about me that keeps me with the company, right? So I already know all of this, and I'm reading it because I trust my old roommate to this day, right? When it comes to males and how men think. And every time he would tell me something, my boss would put me in a position where that conversation had to be had, right? And eventually I would say it just like how he says it. I don't know what slow down was. Okay. I don't understand people who will jump and slow down. Like, I don't get it. And I get it's a red light, but they're slowed down. They don't think about the people behind them. I'm just realizing people don't think. They drive with a very selfish intent. So the whole premises behind getting in front of me was so that they could go faster. But if you're slowing the people down from being able to go at the pace that they were already going, like I keep telling you guys, traffic should always be flowing. And I don't think many people know that. That's why traffic is traffic, because people don't know how to flow with traffic. But anywho, I got where I needed. I got right in front of that car. I'm like, you did all that for what, sir? Okay, you got in front of me. Now I'm way ahead of you. I hope that makes you feel good. And you stuck now, idiot, instead of just being patient. But that's where I'm at, you guys. Like I said, it's no shade. Like I said, I do like my boss in the sense that I value what he's built. I, salute to him for what he's built. But I don't really believe that I have much of a future. Like, I got a future if I'm willing to stay at the bottom. And y'all know I'm not. So now that I know, and that's what I was telling my friend, because even if I don't get this senior bookkeeping position, which I may not, even if I don't get it, right? What it tells me is, even if I don't get it, right? I now know what those positions are going for and how much they're paying people to do those positions. And so what it does is it opens the door for me, right, to be able to look for a job comfortably. Now I know that, that bookkeeping is not necessary. I would think that it would depend on what you're doing as a bookkeeper, right? So now I know that bookkeeping, depending on the company, is highly valued, right? And I know that I gotta be willing to pivot. This is why I was set up. See, my mentor is Cole, because I cannot just only do tax, I can do bookkeeping too. Is my passion in tax? Yes. Because that shit is fun. Tax is fun all day long. Right? But if my career, right, quote unquote, is centered around both accounting and tax. And I know that I can get so wrapped up in tax. But my career is set up for me to be able to pivot. So that was probably the hardest thing to really realization to come to. But I'm happy. I thank God that I have alternative skill sets. And understanding that those skill sets are valuable. They are. So that's all I gotta say on the matter, y'all. I could have turned, but I didn't know how fast they were going. I'm going. All right. That's all I gotta say. That's where I'm at. And if, like I said, I think I'm at a place now in my life where if I gotta play and fake the funk, then I'm gonna play and fake the funk. You know, until I find something better. But I will be looking. I am definitely open to working with more people, working somewhere else. And again, reminding myself that I've got my own personal goals, right? And that my identity with any company as a Black woman, it does not behoove me to make that company my identity more so than my goals, right? Black women's position in the workforce is a lot different, especially when you're probably getting paid the least as a Black woman. Do Black women get paid? You can in the industry that you're in, but if you look at your white counterparts, we're probably getting paid a hell of a lot less. I can guarantee you now, I know I'm getting paid. I'm probably the least paid on my team. I know this for a fact. So when I have a little kid telling me, well, yeah, I took this role so I can make more money, not because he likes what he does, but so that he can make more money. Do you know what that does? That's like a slap in my fucking face every time I hear it, because I pick up his slack. Now, there must have been a level of conversation that happened recently where, because I'm challenging the boss, I have been. You want to ask me why your manager, the person you made a manager, is late? That is a you problem and a you question. I have no parts in that. Right? So holding him accountable for his choices of who he put into play. And what's very interesting is the manager is starting to get his act together. We'll see how long it lasts. So we'll see, right? It's very interesting how things work out. But that's where I'm at, you guys. I'm happy. Today is Friday. I'm going to have a good day. I'm only here for a short period of time, but I will say that it is official. Like, my mindset has officially switched into, I'm over it. It's not even, I was going back and forth in my head. But as I know, if I'm having this problem and I'm feeling like this, I've been feeling, y'all know how many videos on this channel I've done about this, not to mention any other channel. So that tells me it's time. The time is coming sooner than rather than later, you know? So I'm going to do everything quietly. When I leave, I was wondering if I'm going to give a 2-week notice, but I think that's fair. I don't want to burn a bridge. And they really, if I leave in the middle of tax season, they're definitely going to need somebody to fill my spot. They're not going to be able, like, my spot is the glue of the team. It really, really is. So, we'll see what happens, you guys, but this is where I'm at, and I appreciate having people in my life that keep it real with me, that can read people, that can read between lines, stuff like that, and then really helping me to process it and understanding that as a Black woman, this is our experience. And I think that I got a little high and mighty because I'm thinking, oh, I'm working here and, I'm with these kinds of people, and not realizing that I was just there to make the company look good. That's it. If they could say they got one Black person on the team, right? That's another thing. That skin color plays a big deal in that. That's why I said I would never stop referring to the fact that I'm a Black woman in that office. Never. Because I feel like the moment I discount my color, they discount it. And what I mean by discount is they still gonna treat me the same because everybody knows what color I am. But I'm just essentially disrespecting myself. So why would they respect me in that regard? I'll never stop announcing that this is what I want to do as a Black woman, because everybody tells us we can't do it. We ain't capable. And we know damn well Black women are more than capable. But we don't want to pay them what Susie Q is getting paid because, for whatever reason, that is, I don't know why people are like that, but that's why. I mean, I don't fucking know. I'm not, I feel like this. If you can do the work and you're doing it well, why wouldn't you be the one that's being paid? But I understand why people got their prejudices, I guess. So, it is what it is. I just it sucks. This is the shit that black people be talking about on the workplace in the workplace. Black women are talking about in the workplace, and you got black men actually out there. That's why I don't follow that AB whatever guy anymore, because how are you going to discount our experiences? This is the shit I live. This is the shit that I feel like I will embark every place I go. This is why my friend said you got to get out of Colorado, because at this point it doesn't matter where you work. You're moving up, the disrespect only looks different. That's it. It doesn't go away. It just looks different. So my resume is out there, y'all. I'm looking. But yeah, I realized that no matter where I go, it wouldn't matter what firm I'm with, what I'm doing for that firm. My promotion has always come in the changing of jobs. It's never actually come on the job. It's like God is looking out for me. God's like, oh yeah, that person should have promoted you, but they didn't. So what we're gonna do is ensure that. What the fuck are you doing? We're going to ensure that you get that promotion. Like, that's literally how my life has been. I leave one job, I'm all excited. I get with one job, I do the work, I bust my ass off thinking I'm gonna be promoted. And all the white people smiling now, like, yeah, you'll get promoted, yada yada yada, right? And then something happens, I don't work for that company no more. And then I'm all stressed out because I don't have a job. But what's funny in how God works is God always gives me another job that's paying me 10 times more. That's how my life has literally worked out. And I think it is because people do shit like that. And they're probably not really supposed to be doing shit like that, right? It's like karma. I had a lady tell me once, y'all, is that what is making that damn noise? Oh, it's the can in the back seat. I'm like, what is making that noise? Um, I've always been saved by God. Like, humans can do me dirty and God will come in and clean all that shit up. I had a girl, I used to work as an admin assistant, right? And I used to think that I wanted to do the office manager stuff, which I can do. That shit's easy. Office management is easy. Um, but at the time, I was not hired as an office manager, nor did I really have the skill set when I really look back on it. But I remember getting working there and I started to not like it for whatever reason. I don't recall at the time. And the white girl, little redhead girl, she about the same age, she was probably just a tad bit older than me, right? Had the nerve to tell me, well, this is probably the best you're going to get. So you should probably, and this is what this lady told me. Y'all, low key, that was what, maybe, when was that? 2000. Oh, I can't remember when I worked for that company, but I seen the company again. I seen them again, right? Where they were still driving them same ass trucks with the same ass logo, and I'm driving my nice ass car, right? It's so funny how shit like that works out. And that's what white people really be thinking of me out here, I assume. So just know that God always has my back. And in this case, it may result in a job change. That's what that is telling me, is a career changes. Well, not a career change, but a job replacement is coming. So that's all I got to say on the matter, y'all. I'm out. Peace.